New York City is an international scene. It's a chaotic mash of different cultures, conveniently grouped together in small neighborhoods. And when on the hunt for traditional and authentic Italian cuisine and culture, people usually go to
Little Italy.
Little Italy. Little Italy.
Little Italy.
But is it really the center of New York's Italian community? In 2000, only 6% or 44 of the residents here were born in Italy. And in 2011, a census found 0 Italian-born residents in Little Italy. When walking through Little Italy, one can sense that behind the veneer of stereotypical Italian decor, there's a lack of authenticity, as if everything was built for the tourist in mind and not actually for the community that lives there. The prices here seem to go with the standard tourist rates, and dishes seem to have more American influence than Italian. Now don't get me wrong, Italian-American cuisine is something we all grew up on. You know, hearty food made by Italian immigrants with American ingredients and American-sized portions. But where's the real Italian food? You know, like a place you can bring your Italian friend who's coming in from out of town to enjoy a plate of, say, carbonara.
Buongiorno.
Look, I'm talking about the authentic stuff that they're eating in Rome, without those little greasy bacon bits that you'd find in Domino's Pizzeria. Look no further than here, Arthur Avenue, home to a strong, vibrant Italian community and all the culture and cuisine that comes with them. But surprisingly few people outside the Italian community have even heard of this place. Little Italy in the Bronx?
Arthur Ave, no.
Have you ever heard of Arthur Avenue?
Arthur Avenue. I'm gonna say no, to be honest.
It's kind of like this unofficial, official Little Italy as a hidden gem in New York City that you won't find on a tourist map. Attracted by the pleasant smell of cheeses and sauces lingering in the air, I found myself caught in the noblest of pursuits, finding a perfect plate for my favorite dish. This is Antonio's Trattoria, a perfect example of the type of restaurant you'll find in the neighborhood. Manning the bar is Joe Iemma, an Arthur Avenue native of 68 years, and he has some insight on why Little Italy in Lower Manhattan seems to be disappearing.
The difference between Lower Little Italy and Little Italy in the Bronx is that when the old timers passed away in Mulberry Street, Mott Street, around that area, it gave no reason for the younger people, their children, to bring anybody back to visit anyone because no one was there.
So here in Arthur Avenue, it's family values that have kept the neighborhood going strong, and it's definitely apparent in the food.
Alright, that's good. Thank you.
You know, after a day of shooting and working all day, walking around town, this is amazing. Like a dish from Grandma's kitchen. Pizza pancetta, man. So creamy. Oh my gosh. Just so satisfying. It's very, a lot of history and culture in one bite. Fresh ingredients and authentic recipes made with care. These are the things that make a restaurant stand out.
But all the traditions are still here. The merchants, a great number of them, are still here, preparing, making, cooking the same meals, serving traditional dishes that people grew up on from when their grandparents were alive.
Antonio's Trattoria gets many of its ingredients from just down the street at the city market, which features many different stalls specializing in different fresh produce.
What makes a Little Italy is so important because everybody actually dedicates to them. You got the pastry shop like the Old Country, the butcher shop like myself, you know, the way we were cutting and prepare stuff on the other side, you know, the produce the same way, wrapped the same way. And somehow people just connected to it. Don't matter where they move to, Westchester, Connecticut, or they seem to find their way back, you know.
Peter Cervedio has been working at this butcher shop for 52 years. Moving up the ranks, he eventually became the owner of the shop. The meat he sells here finds its ways to many of the local restaurants. His nephew, Michael Rella, helps run the shop, and together they know most of their clientele on a first-name basis.
You know, this is the old-fashioned way, you know, the way I was brought up. And the way eventually my kids will take over too. And I hope it just keeps going. We will never stop.
As I took the subway back to Manhattan, I thought about the people I met at Arthur Avenue. I thought about the food I ate, the atmosphere I felt, and I realized this place was held together by something very special: family. And while Little Italy in Manhattan is interesting to visit in its own right, it definitely lacks that quality. There's something so unique about visiting and being included in this great big familia that is Arthur Avenue.